Hello everyone, today I saw Shogun Episode 4. So after Blackthorne and Toranaga make it all the way to Yabushige's army, they decide to join Toranaga in his mission against the Council of Regents. So Blackthorne gets to basically have a servant named Fuji, and he gets to introduce his cannons to Yabushige's army. And while they initially think that the cannons aren't going to be that helpful when it comes to them taking the castle walls over where the Council of Regents are, they see after a demonstration that the cannons are actually pretty accurate. So they're willing to work with Blackthorne to make use of them. But it's also very clear that the Council of Regents isn't going to play fair even slightly, especially when it comes to Toranaga's son, Nagakado. Nagakado obviously sees this war differently than his father, which is what causes him to ultimately turn away from his dad and to basically draw a line in the sand that could make the Council of Regents far more deadly in this conflict. Now, Yabushige is actually played by the guy who played Raiden in the Mortal Kombat 2021 movie, which is kind of ironic considering that Hiroyuki Sanada also played Scorpion in that film. So, outside of that, outside of it just being nice to see them work together again, I appreciate that the culture clash is still being shown from the perspective of why these cultures came together in the first place, such as guns and cannons being unfamiliar in Japan at the time, and naturally with them bringing a huge advantage to those who had that kind of technology. Heck, Blackthorne even has to give Fuji his guns to make sure that the samurai won't go against him after they demand that Blackthorne gives him their guns. And also, Blackthorne can't see his own men, considering that they've been brought to Edo for their safety. In many respects, it's a humbling lesson for Blackthorne to learn that not only is Toranaga not going to give him the same amount of power that he has, but the men are no longer under his command, they're under Toranaga's command until further notice. Toranaga can be helpful, but he still holds some measure of power over him because this is an unfamiliar land, and he's simply doing everything he can to make sure he wins the battle, but also to ensure his own power. And as both Mariko and Blackthorne figure out, they both have masters to serve. Especially considering that Mariko goes into her own backstory near the end of the episode, and I actually consider it to be rather well done. We don't need a long, lengthy flashback for it or anything, but it gives us just enough information to feel sorry for Mariko while also understanding where she's coming from. The episodes never feel like they're going on too long because of that. A lot of the stuff goes by pretty quickly, and at the same time, it gives you just enough depth for these characters to get you to understand where they're coming from, while also giving you enough gory action to make the fight scenes very engaging. While it definitely also earns its R-rated nature. Not only that, but even with the sex scenes that are included in the episode. Even the sex scenes are ones that I don't really mind, considering they actually further your understanding of these characters and this culture. So, with the Council of Regents revealing that they have their own ways of playing dirty, how will Toranaga and Blackthorne react? We'll see you next week.